Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This guy always fucks me up with this countdown, dude.
And action.
So, the Earth is flat.
I mean, that's what they say, right?
I'm pretty sure that's what they
said
say.
For years, right?
Why wouldn't it be, though?
Why wouldn't it be flat?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be flat?
I mean, I don't know.
Like if...
Why would we be on a,
let's say you had
space rock hurtling through space and the Australians are flying upside down? I don't know. I'd like to see a picture of that. I'd like to see a picture of a boat sailing upside down in, off the
what's
coast of Australia.
you know they caused this. They caused this whole flat Earth thing with all their lies. No one trusts anything at all that comes out of the top.
Well,
that's
and there's
why
the
too.
whole flat Earth society, which is a big joke. It's like
they go after people.
What do they call that? They call that the opposite. It's like their own opposition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I forget the word for it, but like a staged.
They go after people. They went after a few people who were critical
when
of
I
them.
got into it, like someone sent me some YouTube videos, and
Yeah.
I really got into it. And all those videos are gone. They scrubbed the internet. The original ones that came out.
Originals.
This was probably like 2010, 2009.
Is this when it kind of...
All those videos are gone.
So what, did it kind of like peak at, or like did the whole thing kind of start at 2010, or was this going since like the 70s, 80s,
Well,
90s
there's
thing?
certain people that have believed it forever.
Yeah, of course.
But there was like a revival of it. There was like Eric Dubé was like a big... I still look at his stuff because he's kind of fallen off.
Yeah.
That whole thing. But I think a lot of people, they've proven it to themselves, and then they're just like, well, if you don't believe it, then fuck it.
Well, look at 9/11. I mean, of course, that's a big catalyst for why this stuff sprouts out, is because you have something like 9/11 where you can't even like tell anyone what happened, and you got Saudi involvement.
Did you ever see the movie Zeitgeist?
Yeah, on YouTube, the original one.
So Zeitgeist,
I can't even find that anymore.
No, it's gone. So Zeitgeist was the first video that I watched where I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That all makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
And that was
and
my
the cross.
beginning of going down the road of my own research and like, you know what I mean, wanting to know the truth. And I had friends that were doing like Masonic research. And,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where it all, you know what I mean?
I mean, let's talk about...
If you want to get down to it, that's where it all, it's like the Vatican.
Yes, I was about to just say the Vatican secret archives.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is it?
Well, and then, they would go and they would conquer, or they would spread the gospel, right?
Yeah.
And then they would tear down the temples of wherever they went, and then they would just put a cathedral over it. And they just stole all the artifacts of wherever they went, and
so
still have all that, I'm sure.
See, the crazy thing about the Vatican is the type of shit they've been involved in. Like, let's go back to World War II and the Nazis, where the Vatican the U.S. government was using rat lines going through the Vatican and the Red Cross to funnel out Nazi scientists that they wanted to come here and start NASA and shit.
Yeah, paperclip.
Yes, exactly. And it's like these guys have archives who are... So, like, apparently there's only 10, what do you call them, people who are able to submit stuff into the archive to be held, and there's 5 overseers of the entire archive. And it's like, who do these guys answer to?
I want to know if we're ever going to see any of that stuff. You think any of that will ever... Imagine what they have, what they're holding.
Yeah, you're like a Rothschild type guy if you're going to see what they got. And then after that, your life has changed. Yeah. Like once you start seeing that hey, humans have been around for 300,000 years, and 5 or maybe even 70,000 years ago, we were more advanced than this and got completely destroyed. You know, this is where all this religion stems out of, is the people who survived the great cataclysm.
Of course.
Taking the message forward, Noah's great flood.
Oh, the flood story's everywhere, right? Every culture has it.
Yeah.
And there's evidence of it everywhere.
Of course.
You go to Grand Canyon. You know, I go camping a lot.
Yeah.
We go into these canyons in like Utah and Colorado and even here. There's like all these sand canyons in like Anza Barango. And there's one, we were actually camping in Anza Barango, which is east of San Diego. And we're like, me and my stepson are driving our remote control cars up this like little mountain cliff kind of thing. And then these people show up in a van and they're like researchers, and they're like doing like they had students with them, and they're like showing them camel and elephant footprints in this shelf that we're driving our cars up. It's like
camels and elephants.
Yeah, America had elephants, camels, horse.
Is this like the Pangea time or something?
I don't know the time period, but there's all their footprints all together on this little shelf. You know what I mean? And you can see the layers of mud. It's basically mud.
There was a way where, like, I think the European top all connected.
Right.
And
so
like that
all
was
the
kind of
animals,
recent. Yeah, like there was a way where I'm pretty sure it was like a route from like North America like to like Greenland and into like Europe somehow, and then it kind of got taken down, because right now there's something like how many millions of miles of coastline that's been flooded over, you know, the past few hundred thousand years.
Go back to the flat Earth, right? And if you seen the agreed upon map, all of that's all relatively close, right? I mean, it all could have been together. If you have the what do they call it, the continental drift, all of those are probably together in the middle, and they all kind of they're drifting apart. Maybe, I don't know. But,
no, I mean, you're not, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing that trips me out, pull up the satellites that Elon Musk has wrapped around the Earth. This will freak you out right here.
Are they floating on balloons?
I don't know. But they went up, and dude, you know what the funny one is? I don't even believe the space landing anymore whatsoever. That one was the biggest fucking joke in the world. And then they have a lie for anything.
They had to have known at some point that people were going to figure out.
Yeah.
That it was just trickery. I mean, come on, it's trickery.
The radiation belt was so strong. There's no way, like, passing through would have
is it a
fried
radiation belt or is it a dome?
I mean, who knows?
The Bible says it's a dome.
That's what the Bible says.
I mean, what's his name? Von Braun, the paperclip, right? German.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What did he put on his gravestone?
What did he put on his gravestone?
He put a biblical quote. The firmament shows the glory of God, or something.
The firmament shows the glory of God.
I think that's what it is. It's like one of the Psalms. Like, why would a spaceman, right, a rocket creator, write on his gravestone that there was a firmament?
Do you think that guy was tapped into some secret energy?
Well, you know what JPL is, right? That's before NASA. That's the Jet Propulsion Laboratories. Yes. Okay, all those guys were Satanists, along with Walt Disney.
100%.
And they were all homies, and they were all, you know what I mean?
Doing crazy stuff.
So, you know, I don't know.
And then all these guys.
And then Walt Disney was one of the biggest promoters of space, and, you know, all his early stuff was really pushing the whole space thing.
Oh yeah. Did you see his original Epcot like idea of what he wanted to build a city that people lived in? That was like a piece of everywhere in the world.
Right.
Like he wanted to do insane stuff, but I guess he didn't survive long enough to see it. And
maybe they'll bring him back.
No, I mean, now look at Disney. Now look at, oh God. Do you think he would be okay with do you think he'd be okay with what Disney's become now?
I'm not even.
Pull up the Acolyte.
I'm not even gonna go there.
Pull up the Acolyte. Pull up the Acolyte. You got to see this. Have you seen this interview about the new Star Wars movie that just came out?
No.
All right, you're gonna love this, man.
I don't know why they ever sold Star Wars to Disney.
No, not that one. Not that one. Give me just them without this weird girl. Right, they are.
This is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars. I think by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you
Not
bracing
the gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the.
It's pretty gay. Let's be honest. Leslie, are you? How do you feel?
Am I gay?
Are you,
Yes.
Well, no, I know
Yeah.
you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this? You know, this is going to be a talking point.
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure so.
Because nerds are gay.
Well,
Yeah.
well, some nerds are very not gay.
All right, that's enough of that. So I mean, there's like, what is Disney for adults or children?
Well, I just feel like they're trying to destroy everything at this point. That's right. They're literally just destroying everything.
Birthing rate.
I love. I mean, I'm not a space like a nerd about sci-fi. You know,
Yeah.
my dad was a Trekkie. You know, because he's from the '50s and they watched it on TV and it was
best
like
times.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
So, and I like a good space movie. I think it's great, but I don't think that there is a space. So it doesn't really matter if they make space gay because I don't think there is a space.
Well, okay.
Here's the thing:
Yeah.
space is it's a clock. It's a huge clock. That's
Okay.
all it is. The moon tells you the time of the month. The sun tells you the time of the day. The stars tell you the seasons. It's a clock.
And we're trapped in it like some snow globe.
I think we're a snow globe on God's desk.
Ooh.
And he might have multiple snow globes. I don't know.
Have you seen the movie Horton Hears a Who or whatever?
No.
Where it's like a Dr. Seuss movie where there's an entire civilization of people are
Oh,
living on
right.
this speck, and it's like
Yeah.
this flower in this elephant's world.
Totally could be.
Oh, it totally could be.
Yeah.
So, and then there's something that's funny about that when it comes to simulation theory, like being in a simulation. So let's say you're in a computer, right? You are loading into a simulation, the computer. Now you load a game, you're loading into another simulation. So and then within that game, you can have a side mission, which is another loading into another game. So you can constantly load into these. We could just be one of these realities in this game, living out our lives.
Yeah.
And there is another, operator behind this who's operating whatever this is. You know what I mean? Maybe
Very possible.
Maybe we're AI avatars in some video game, like the future Grand Theft Auto. Looks like what the fuck the streets have become is Grand Theft Auto to me.
Jeez.
Have you seen some of these guys on this new It's not even fentanyl anymore. It's like fentanyl with tranquilizer and
Oh yeah, the
and
trank
battery
shit is
acid
crazy.
and dirt.
It's like eating their skins falling off, and they're like shooting up in the sores. You know what I mean?
Oh
It's
my
wild.
god!
So, my
me some of their-
wife's cousin,
Some of the Pilates they do.
the bent over Pilates. My girl's cousin, he's becoming an EMT. He's going to be an EMT or a firefighter, and they were made him watch a video, and this homeless lady, her hair had gotten pulled back, and her skin she was almost like scalped. And then she
Like
was like
Indian
shooting
scalp?
up. She was like shooting up in
No
the
fucking way.
in
I
the,
don't believe
in
it.
the scalped gaping wound. She was like shooting up in her. Yeah.
I don't believe it, man. What will people?
I don't know,
People will
dude.
do the craziest shit. I mean, like
I don't get it.
I mean, look at Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden went on TV and said, "When I was an addict, I probably smoked the most Parmesan cheese than anyone else," because the guy was doing crack all the time in fucking Ukraine,
Yeah.
getting 10% for the big guy.
Oh God.
Dude, addicts. I mean, God bless them. But like this, we never saw anything like this.
No. I
know,
mean, and here's the thing. Back in
we
the
never
day,
saw anything like that.
heroin addicts lived forever.
Oh yeah, clean.
They lived forever.
Clean heroin.
Yeah. They never died unless they got like a hot shot or, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
They did something wrong,
Yeah,
but they lived forever. These people are zombies. After like day 6, they're like zombies.
Yeah, they're like day by day gonna die. Like exactly what you're saying. Like even in the 70s and the 80s, people were doing heroin back, like Motley Crue. Look at them now.
Johnny
They're-
Cash.
All those
Johnny
guys were
Cash was a
healthy,
heroin
man.
addict. I mean,
Yeah, healthy
and he was
as can be.
making a great music.
Healthy
I
as an ox.
mean,
Never aged from those opiates.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that, and it's crazy what.
Well, this is what I mean, if you want to destroy a country, which here's my view on America at this point. We don't produce anything.
No, we don't.
We don't make anything. We're pretty much a useless
We export war.
society. Yeah, we're an empire that's dying. But
We're a hammer.
I feel like we're just at this point we're an experiment. It's a huge experiment. And so they're
You're right.
giving us chemicals in our food. Like the food that we eat, that we consume, they don't consume anywhere.
Yes, you're right.
Like I've seen like them try to feed it to like wild animals, and they're like, I don't want that shit. You know what I mean? Trying to feed a Big Mac to a wild animal, they're like, I'm not going to eat that. I think it was a bear. They were trying to get a bear to eat a Big Mac, and he did not want the fucking Big Mac.
They know it's death.
But I feel like we're just an experiment because they're done with us. We don't produce anything. We don't make anything. We're just sucking the tit that's running dry, and they're like, let's see what we can do with these people. Let's see how far we can push them into insanity. And there you see it right there, being pushed into insanity.
Well, I mean, they just don't need us, is what it is.
Yeah.
They don't need us. You're not a bright...
We're consumers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're not a bright mind who's gonna get them to their goal, which is obviously their goal. Oh my God!
Do you see the videos where they ask people on the street, like, what countries above United States? No one even knows. Canada? I mean,
people are sad.
It's pretty bad.
Well, I mean, those are TikTok brain people who are 10 seconds, and it actually fries their brain and like their attention span. They can't handle long 100%. Conversations because they're so fried with these short-term videos.
They weren't educated on. I mean, kids are being educated on
lazy parents too.
Gay
phone.
rights.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's know about the gay history of the rights of gays. Like that's not. Is that what we really need to know?
There was a father who got his son taken away from him, 12-year-old son, because he wanted to transition. He told the school, and he was begging the school, and he's like, my dad won't let me. They came and took the kid away, and now he's with a family, and he's fully transitioned. And the father can't do anything about it whatsoever. And if
dads have no rights. Come on.
It's just mind blowing to me that look at that. Oh man, what is it? Look at that guy's foot. That guy's got like a big old. That guy's foot's going soon. That foot's gone real soon.
I have a good friend. I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah, no, of course.
He's in his 60s, and he was a heroin addict his whole life.
Yeah.
And now he's on fentanyl. And I don't know how.
Street fentanyl or prescription?
He's got the blues. Who knows where they're coming from?
Yeah, it's that.
But I don't know how he's still alive, bro. I really don't know.
Well, I mean, so this is the thing about it. There's addicts who are obviously smart on how to get high, and they build their tolerance.
Oh, he definitely has got tolerance for sure.
I mean, you know, like anyone else, what the human body could do if you build up the tolerance.
For sure.
I mean, it can. I mean, you got guys who could drink 2 bottles of Jack a day just because the tolerance is there. Or even like you've heard of Prince. What was this Prince's like? He was doing 60 Norcos a day, 70 Norcos a day. Yeah, they found like a 14 ounce stool inside of him that he couldn't pass. Jeez. I'm not even joking. It was hilarious.
They say John Wayne had like 60 pounds of shit when he died too. Yeah, look that up. Yeah, they say John Wayne had like 60 pounds of shit.
That was when Coke was in Coca-Cola right there.
John Wayne?
Is
that what you said?
Yeah. Stool size.
Stool autopsy. Oh no.
And they're gonna blame it on red meat. Because red meat's the devil.
Look at Reddit. What is that? His family saying, "Please stop talking about John Wayne's impacted feces." People, John Wayne died
40 pounds
of puppies at his colonial period. A young cleaning baby is a child who. Wait, what the hell is this? Shit?
What is that?
Where is this John Wayne thing about his poo poo? Simply choose someone all three. Oh, this isn't it. John Wayne died about 40. Nah, this guy's an idiot. You get out of here. This is why I read it. I can't stand it. John Wayne's bizarre autopsy rumors from stomach. 40 pounds of fecal matter?
Yeah, dude.
The Cowboy star John Wayne died. Here, bring it down. More. Hit no thanks right there. Cowboy star John Wayne died after battling stomach cancer almost 45 years ago. The actor had been diagnosed with the disease just 5 months before his death. Fans were devastated when John Wayne died, and it didn't take long for some people to come with some bizarre theories about his death. Here, go down. What? Where's the 40 pounds of stool? Oh, here it is. Some reports suggested John's cancer was related to his carnivore diet, and one rumor suggested an autopsy found 40 pounds of impacted fecal matter. That's not possible, dude.
I remember when they came out with this story too, they started saying, "Oh, you know, you can't digest all of this. You can't digest meat. Meat can't be digested."
Yeah, but
And they were
that's propaganda.
Of course.
Because you know, like the whole food pyramid when we were a kid, like
Bullshit.
yeah, no,
The new one's
carbs
even worse.
is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said carbs is the
They
best.
wanted you to have 7 to 11 servings of grains.
No,
back in the day.
You should have bacon and eggs and fucking steaks like
Yeah.
nonstop. Lard, fat, like
eggs,
cook everything in lard.
yes.
Like good stuff too.
That's one
for
of the
sure.
worst things they ever did was take away lard, and you know restaurants would cook in lard, and now they're cooking in vegetable oil, which
Seed
doesn't
oil
even
too, some of
come.
them.
It doesn't even come from vegetables. Let's just be
Disgusting.
honest.
It's supposed to be for
petroleum.
cars. Yeah, it's supposed to be lubricant back in the day for
it's
heavy
petroleum
machinery.
for sure. Well, and who runs the world? The oil companies, basically, the oil families. So yeah, of course, they're going to replace everything with petroleum.
You know what's crazy is when you look at like the royal family in Saudi Arabia, it almost seems like the people in charge who are going to ascend to the stars and leave us all behind to fucking die.
Right.
They're like, you know what, Saudis will bring you with us. You know what I mean? It's almost like that. Just because watching what, I don't know, man, the whole Arab world's a trip to me now. It's falling apart over there, and people are all revolting like crazy. No one's cool with what's going on there, and it's just because it's like all right, let's say you're like 110 pounds and you're like 5'4", and I'm 6'8" and I'm like 400 pounds, all muscle, the best MMA fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, you come one day and you knife my knee, really hard, and I just pulverize everything about your existence. You know what I mean? And then
Right.
and then you go, like, it's just so easy to sway people, and like that's the whole thing about false flags, right? Is like all you got to do is sway the crowd. We're just like the crowd, like in Gladiator, like, oh, chanting,
100%.
just sway us. You basically, the American government looks at us. They say, yo, you say the word terrorist and point. We got the rest.
Terrorist.
And then they'll just sprout it.
That
And
was the funniest shit.
Where did
Bush.
Osama bin Laden come from?
Terrorist. Well, he's a CIA agent.
Exactly.
And he was the 50th child from one man.
Correct. His dad was one of the main guys who like
I
started
remember
the
I
whole
heard you
oil
talking
thing.
about that on another podcast you did.
Yeah.
How the Muslims, they have so many kids. Yeah. Bin Laden was number 50 out of his. I think they were just counting the brothers too.
Dude, and I think bin Laden had like 14, 12, like something
At
crazy
least, yeah.
kids. I don't know what the idea
Well, I
of
mean,
having
when you
so many
have
kids
20
is.
wives, you can have 50 kids, I guess.
Oh, it's so insane. Like, what's the theory, do you think? Why do you think Muslims are like, all right, you know what, let's all have 8 kids? Do you think it's
Well, I
just
think,
outnumber us?
Like
Outnumber the world?
In my past, like my ancestry,
Yeah.
they had
Viking?
like my grandmother. Yeah, we were Vikings. Yeah, I'm mostly Swedish, and English, but they had my grandma was one of 12. I think she was number 9. But back then they had kids because they had farms and they had.
You need hands on the farm, too.
Yeah, you didn't hire people; you had kids,
That's
and the kids
fucking
did all the
beautiful.
work, right? They're your slaves, right? But now it's like, it's funny because I went to China. This is what I was going to talk to you about with the flat
You went
Earth,
to China.
too.
Oh, yeah.
I went to China
I forget you go to these places.
in 2016. I tattooed out
With the
there.
Rube?
Let's not even bring up that lamb's name.
All right.
So anyway, we went to China, and they put that restriction on them years ago where they could only have one child or
Oh, yeah.
2 children. Or
And now
whatever.
their population's having crisis.
It is a crisis, and the young people, they don't want fucking kids. They're done. They don't want kids. They work hard. But they don't do families anymore. They've totally, the younger generation has totally gotten away with that, which is worldwide. But you wouldn't think you would see that in China. But I think them pushing that, and now they're trying to reverse all that and like, oh no, we need, after the research has been done, like
Well, it's
a
almost-
society won't survive with.
No, it won't,
with
because
one
you have nowhere
child.
to take care. You have no one to take care of the elders.
Well, not
is
only
what
that,
happens.
but you have to not only replace yourself, but you
Yeah.
have to have an extra
The next generation ready to go.
to create the the bloom. Well, the whole population, we're overpopulated. That's bullshit. All you got to do is drive around the Southwest, and you realize that we are not populated enough, really.
Do you want me to give you my idea on why they say that? Is because AI is around the corner. They don't need everyone else now. Now they're like, we need only X amount of the brightest and the wisest. We're going to be integrating with computers because look, have you seen the first Neuralink guy? He's like controlling the whole computer off his mind. I mean, listen,
I don't really look into that because for now,
Yeah.
for me, AI is just bullshit. It's like a program. All AI does is just search Google
it's not
really
even about
fast.
AI. It's about how now they're able to get into the brain and manually wire the brain to like control
Right,
an entire
right.
computer. So that's like, okay, remember the first phone? Look at this fucking thing. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the start. This is patient 1. I think patient 2 is coming soon. Let's say in 20 years from now, if you have paralyzed legs, they'll make your legs work again, which is going to be awesome stuff. But you can't tell me they're not going to have some nefarious purposes for it, you know? And the
Yeah,
first
we'll
people
see.
who are
We'll
going to
see.
get that, the first people who are going to get that are going to be the top guys. You know, they're going to have an implant where you could be talking to them, they pull up any fact. Calculations on an instant. Just,
True.
You know, and then they'll try to hide it and act dumb, but they'll be the guys.
You don't think they're already doing that now?
I don't think they're there now, but I think the break-off civilization is forming.
But do you think that the elites or the high-ups are even going to accept the garbage that they're going to push on? I think they're going to push it on everyone else first. I don't think that they're going to want to be pure. They're going to want to be...
I mean, it's
Because
divide
I think
and
they
conquer.
know. I think they know what
Well,
they're
dividing.
doing.
It's dividing us separately. Everyone's in. There's so many situations and different issues going on currently. It's not like in the Vietnam era. You're war, you're no war. You know, oh, let's defame them by creating Charles Manson. It's not like that. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah.
Right now, there are so many different conflicts and so many people who are pulled into certain conflicts where it's like, have your conflict, yell at the other side. You're either Palestine or Israel. You're either
Yeah.
Trudeau or you're not. You're either, you know, you're talking about
You're
Biden.
Trump or not.
Trump or not. I mean, there's just so many issues to be divided on. Really, Ukraine or not. You know, NATO or not. There's so many issues to be abortion or not. So it's just like yell at the other side. Don't look up at us in the ivory tower. Yell at the other side. But then I mean, like they're creating these issues.
For sure.
Pretty much.
Well, it's smart.
Well, you know why they're going radical on the abortion thing right now is because of how they're going radical on trying to make everyone kind of, you know, different. All of a
Abortion
sudden.
to me, obviously, I grew up biblical. I grew up with the Bible. I know the
Yeah,
Bible
of
very
course.
well. And over and over, it's the firstborn is sacrificed, or the firstborn is killed, or the firstborn is destroyed. Well, that's abortion. Firstborn. They're destroying the firstborn of every woman in America. Because I mean, there's a lot of people get abortions. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, a
sometimes they
lot.
get a whole lot of them,
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
but it's always their firstborn. That's
Do you think the theory is like, okay, we'll make it state banned, so like some states yes, some states no, so then like the girl who gets pregnant in like a state where you can't get it, maybe she'll have like second thoughts now about keeping the baby, and
well, I
it's kind
think
of
the
like an
states.
attempt.
I think the states thing is a no-brainer because we're a republic.
So every state should
Every
have their
state should
say.
have its own say
Okay,
on everything.
I like that. Yeah, of course they should.
And if you don't like it, you go to a different state.
Yeah.
You move to another state.
Or vote someone else in.
Or change the politics, yeah. But I think, you know, I think we're way too focused in America on the federal government when the federal government's bullshit. We shouldn't even be focused on the federal. We should be focused
Yes.
on our states. We're national-born statesmen.
Yeah.
If you really look at it.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's been lost because they're pushing the federal thing. All you see is Trump, Biden. Who gives a fuck? Who's your local government?
None of them are going to change like the real stuff that needs to be changed. It's just like on the surface, one's better than the other, but it's like
it's a dog and pony show.
yeah.
It's a dog and pony
At
show.
the end of the day, they're never going to come in and say, "Oh, the CIA is abolished." It's never going to happen.
Well, and like they're never gonna let someone
Bring out the COVID files.
If Trump was the you know the savior, he would never get anywhere near the presidency. He's he's related to them all. He's just a, in my opinion, they're all puppets, and he's just another puppet.
So when he says something like, "Oh, when I get in office, I'm going to release the JFK assassination files,"
Yeah,
do
he
you think
won't
it's
do
just
it.
like food for the dogs kind of thing?
Of course, he's not gonna do shit. What did he do when he was in office? I mean, the economy was good. I like that.
Yeah, like at least
I'm down with that. I'd vote
that's
for
about
that.
It. It was about
But
it.
because the economy right now is shit.
I care about money and I care about war, right? I want Americans
True.
to be wealthy, and I don't want us to be at war.
Well, and I think that's
Why are we
one
at
thing
war?
that I could get back. I can get his back on is he didn't get us in any wars. He tried to, and he negotiated a lot of shit. He's a strong man.
They got submarines in Cuba
I
right now,
know,
these
I know.
motherfuckers, because of this idiot, old, decrepit man.
it's true.
Who can't even, he doesn't even understand where he is. Pull up the video of him at the black church recently. You got to see him. He's dead. He's looking around like, where's
Hey,
my
after you
handler?
look that up, can you get me? Babe, can you grab me one of these?
He's going to be my
They're on
handler.
their fridge. She's like, what? Me? Who?
Jesus.
I mean,
No.
this. If you ask me, that's
Biden
not
church.
Joe Biden.
Biden church.
this is
he's
a-
got doubles.
This is a
He's got many
bad
doubles.
actor with a mask on.
He's got many doubles. Church, yeah.
I mean, Joe Biden, I think the real Joe
Look
Biden
at this guy.
disappeared years ago. He's probably on his private island somewhere.
Look, he's got the perma frown.
The puppet mouth.
No,
he's like, oh,
yeah,
me?
he's done.
Yeah, that's a different guy than the debates,
Yeah, that's not it.
or a different mask.
That might be the real one.
I don't
know if that's the dummy.
The real one is, no, look at the chin. That's not the real one. Thank you, dude.
Brother, there's been doubles, presidential doubles for years since like before the Soviet.
Yeah, but
era.
have you seen the real Joe Biden since he was president? I haven't.
like that guy that Obama ran with?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
With
I
the
don't know where
stern
that guy went.
face and the strong.
Nah,
That was.
that guy.
It's hard to duplicate, or it's hard to make a mask of that face.
It's so crazy that they halted Hunter's bullshit from getting out until after the elections. There wouldn't be a
Well,
chance
I trip
in
on the
hell.
fact that everyone says that Trump is racist when he's mentioned in more rap songs than any person ever in the history.
Oh, yeah.
Number one. Number two, Joe Biden has. There's so many clips of him being racist.
Super
it's
racist,
amazing.
crazy racist. Like saying if you have this speck of crack, 5 years.
Yeah.
no nothing.
And then he
5
talks about
years.
how they're going to be beating his mom with a pipe, and they're going to be doing
Yeah.
this and that. Like what?
That's
the
insane. Yeah, but I mean, you give him the power, and you say, "Hey, you're the puppet. You're gonna get the power. We're gonna tell you what to do." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Of course, I'll do whatever you say. Just give me the power, please." And
Yeah.
then his son's smoking crack all the time. He's
Yeah.
doing 160 in a
With
Porsche
hookers.
with
Yeah.
hookers, trafficking them across state lines, stuff like this. It's just
wild.
really weird. What-
Super wild.
Oh man, there used to be a.
Oh, let me get back to the China.
Oh, tell me.
Since we're jumping all over the
I
place.
love China.
Okay, so
Fucking love China.
dude, China's actually rad.
I know it is. It's the future.
China's rad.
It's the future.
I thought I was
We're
going
done.
to like a third world country. No.
No, yeah.
Dude, I had a guy pick us up because I went there for tattooing. I had a guy pick us up in a Porsche
In China.
at the airport.
So you're already one in like a billion there.
I'm like, wait a minute. We're in China. This is a tattooer. He's driving a Porsche, and he had multiple Jeeps. You can't get Jeeps in China.
It was Triad or something.
He was triad.
Yeah,
100%. When I went to his shop, he made me tea and
That guy started the
made
fentanyl
me
trade.
sit down and probably. But he was a badass. He was doing tricks with his cigarette. He was like eating his cigarettes. It was funny.
Oh, they're the best.
Took us out everywhere we went. The main guy like met us at the airport and took us out to dinner and tried to show off. It was awesome. But anyway, I proved a couple things to myself on that trip.
What is it?
Number one, the Earth is flat for sure.
Re-
And number two, commercial airlines are spraying chemtrails. For sure, I witnessed it myself with my own eyes.
the chemtrails is a hot button issue all of a sudden
Well,
now. Again.
It's been going on forever.
Yeah, but right now there's a lot of fire under it.
Well, yeah,
Let's do some chemtrails.
states are actually saying, no, you can't do this anymore. So I used to tell people about it all the time, and they're like, "That's just a cloud," and I'm like,
well, you know who
look
really
it
burnt
up.
him out? You know who really burnt him out, and it was by accident. The Saudis.
Oh, really?
The Saudis are, they're geoengineering over there.
Right.
Right. So
To try to make rain and
yeah, they're planning, and then now they don't even talk about it anymore. They don't even talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
But if you look at their valleys,
I think
it's
it
all
goes
lush
beyond.
green.
I think it goes beyond cloud seeding and weather modification.
They can
I
cause
think
earthquakes.
I think they're.
They can detonate
I think they're
volcanoes.
just killing us all. They're just spraying us with aluminum and.
Look, why did he stop all of a sudden spraying that shit? Will you run out?
Well, here's my story. So, for one, when we went there, I don't know if you've seen flights on a flat Earth map, but most of them are straight, right? So, we took off from LAX, we turned right,
Yeah.
we went up the coast, Washington, Canada, went over Alaska,
Oh, it goes over the top?
literally saw Anchorage, Alaska.
Holy shit.
And then we flew into Russia. We never turned, went straight over Alaska, into Russia, into China, landed in Beijing. Never turned. We probably turned at the end to land.
Yeah.
So we literally, if you're on a ball, we flew over the top of the ball.
But the Earth is so big that you're like not high enough off the ground to be able to like, right? Isn't that the concept?
If you look at a flat Earth map, though, it's literally a straight line. We busted a right. We took a straight line all the way to Beijing. So that was the first thing to me, because I paid attention, especially on the way home too. So then I called my kids while I was there, and it was 7:00 in the morning, and the moon was beautiful. It was still up.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, the moon is so pretty." And they're like, "Oh, we can see the moon too." And I'm like, "Well, where's the moon?" And they explained it to me, and I'm like, "How are we both looking at the moon when I'm on the other side of the Earth?" And it's in the sky. It wasn't like a setting.
You should have had pictures. What do you mean? Why didn't you get a picture?
Well, I should have, but
You're over here.
how are we both looking at the moon in the sky when we're on the other side of the planet?
I have no idea.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
so then
there's always
on the way
tricks.
home,
There's always tricks, though.
So then on the way home, can you let them in, babe? They'll be fine.
There's
They'll
always
be
tricks,
fine.
though.
So then on the way home, it was about probably like 2:00 in the morning, or it was maybe like midnight, and they made everyone shut their windows. It was Air China, and I'm like, I don't want to shut my window, and he's like, you have to shut your window. I was like, all right, whatever, I shut it. And then I waited for them to go sit down or whatever, open my thing, and they started spraying out the wing. I was right on the wing.
You just saw it spritzing out.
It wasn't there when I had my window open. They made me close it. They made everybody close their windows.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone needs to sleep. And then I opened my window, and I tried to film it, but it was so dark you couldn't see it. But they were spraying on a commercial airline. They weren't spraying, and then they were spraying. So
I mean, that's poisoning. Is what you're saying. They're
and it wasn't until we were over America.
Well, we just got poisoned, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, we just got poisoned with COVID, so.
Oh yeah.
I mean, is it too far to say that they're poisoning the air? And I mean, okay, forget the air. Forget the air. Let's just talk about chloride or fluoride. Why is fluoride in the water?
To kill us.
Apparently, fluoride's in the water because it's good for our teeth.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's like what they say. It's because of our teeth. It's for teeth health or something like that. No, I think the fluoride is there to lower our IQ because it's been proven in almost every community that has certain amounts of fluoride. Is their IQs are lower in those communities.
That makes sense, right?
And then you look at the Amish. Amish is like,
oh, look at the Amish on vaccines.
there isn't one. No
autism.
No, there isn't one amongst them, and it's.
I don't know why they deny that vaccines cause autism when literally the little paper that they give you that no one ever shows you at the doctor's office says that it could be a side effect of vaccines. So I don't know why
Brother, I'm gonna
they
be honest
don't
with you.
admit that.
I've seen special needs or an autistic kid almost every few days.
It's almost like 1 in 10 at this point.
I used to see one maybe once, 2-3 times a year. Now I can't go out without seeing a few at least, and it's like what happened?
And they had to create a spectrum of different You know what I mean? Now there's a full spectrum. It used to just be Rain Man. Now it's like a full spectrum.
Oh, well, no, this is the sad part is the parents who are like virtuing it, like virtue signaling, like, oh, my kid's autistic. I'm sorry for him
Right.
talking to you. It's like, no,
It's like
first,
it's like a
say
thing
that.
now.
Yeah, don't say your kid's autistic. Like, that's like the lamest thing to say. Be like, oh, this is my son.
Well, you know what's sad also about the parents is the doctor's telling them that it's genetic. So they're basically saying it's your fault that your kid has issues, which it is their fault because they vaccinated them.
Well, it's because a lot of these moms secretly drink. Sometimes when they're pregnant, a lot of them do, and they hide it. You can't lie about that.
I don't think that causes autism though.
Well,
Pretty sure it's the vaccines.
not just drink, but who knows? The type of medications women take sometimes.
Well, yeah, that could be. Well,
Anything, Xanax, who
they
knows?
vaccinate pregnant women.
Oh, no.
With mercury, and they tell you not to eat fish, but they're giving you vaccines full of mercury. So
You don't
whatever.
see, you don't like over in, I don't know, around the world. You don't see any types of autism like you see here in America,
well,
especially
no,
in
and
Los Angeles.
they've
It's
literally
prominent.
gone to the Amish communities, and there's none, zero. So
They figured it out.
yeah, they don't do the same medical treatments that we do. They do natural healing. So
There's going to be a time when people say fucking enough's enough with this stuff. And
Well,
they're
if-
going to be
if-
forced into a corner, and they're going to say either you guys you have to do this or you're going to jail. Like, it's going to get to that point because too many people are not getting the vaccinations, and public schools are seeing a severe drought because a lot of these parents are not putting the types of like hepatitis B. My kid's not
it's
gay.
funny.
He's a child. Why do I put hepatitis B in
yeah,
him? The craziest
Is he a
shot they
drug
give a kid.
addict? No.
You give him hepatitis B to a child? I could never even imagine that.
No, that's crazy.
This is Starlink live tracking, by the way. You got to see this. Wait, are these all the satellites launching?
I actually saw one of their satellites in
Okay, now
in
just look at
Utah.
this. Please tell me. Okay, forget flat Earth for a second. Let's just live in fairy tale land. The Earth is a sphere.
Okay.
Why the fuck do they need this many satellites in orbit?
I don't know. How is that possible?
How is that possible? And you want to know what apparently Starlink is for?
How come there's none on the top?
Because it's probably dead zones or something like that. I don't know. Few people live there. But skip forward. Maybe they launched more up there. But regardless, you think that they would launch that many satellites to provide internet for people?
Well, no. The satellite doesn't. There's cables that go under the oceans, right? They're not.
Oh yeah, miles.
Yeah.
Miles.
They've even somewhere in the Middle East they recently threatened to cut the internet cables that go through the ocean.
We blew up the Nord Stream pipeline for
Yeah.
Russia, and it
Well,
was
yeah.
fucking miles of gas lines under
True.
the ocean. No, the stuff humanity can do with all the money and resources. is insane.
It's funny to me that people think their cell phone is connected to a satellite. It's not connected to a satellite.
when
Maybe the Starlink, maybe be. I don't know. When I go out in the woods, I have no service, and I love it. I'm like, yay,
it's
no
the
service.
Dude, speaking about the woods, man, it's like humans have really only been on concrete for a few generations.
Right.
This is like
Yeah.
foreign to us. We're not supposed to be
No.
in these cities and these streets.
Well,
and
have you ever been driving on the freeway?
Yeah.
And you're doing like 80, 90
Yeah,
miles an
yeah.
hour, and you think, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not normal.
It is not normal.
No,
I
it's
always
not meant
wonder.
to be.
I always wonder what did this whole thing look like when it was just like the Indians were all around and there was nothing out here.
I think they had it right. I think the Native Americans probably had the closest to
we should have
what we
integrated.
should be.
We should have integrated better.
Well,
with
but they
them
called
and
them
not-
savages, and then they brought all their diseases and.
It wasn't all the Native
bullshit.
Americans. It was the thing about it was certain tribes that wanted war. Like it was certain tribes that were
Well,
like,
of
no,
course.
this is our
Well,
like the Comanches and
Well,
stuff.
people
like
talk
that.
about that all the time, like, oh, the white man came and take. No, they were killing each other and taking
Yeah.
each other's land.
Oh, yeah.
For thousands of years.
But we also knew there was battles between them, and we would supply them to kill
Of
each other
course.
off faster.
Yeah.
Best way to do it.
Well, yeah,
We're-
how else did they get guns?
Yeah, we're
right?
doing it in the Middle
yeah.
East right now.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
Let 'em-
They do it in Chicago. They drop off automatic weapons. I don't know if you heard about. There was this rapper. I forget who he was, but he was like, when I got older and I got into collecting guns,
Yeah.
he's like, how come I can't buy an automatic weapon? When I was a kid, they were all over the streets.
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Because the CIA would drop off crates of automatic weapons in the alleys of Chicago.
It makes no sense to me. How come I can only have 10 round magazines? How come I have to have some weird stock while every gang and every single person on the street has Glocks that are fully automatic with switches and freaking little baby M16s? That's crazy stuff that
Well,
is
and people
getting
always
out
say,
there.
"Oh, you can't fight against the government." No, I want to protect my home from some crazy motherfucker that has an automatic AK. You know
No,
what I mean?
listen, crime's at an all-time low. You didn't know that?
Oh, right.
You didn't know that? Crime's at all-time low.
I didn't see that Biden or that Newsom
All-time
clip.
low. Fucking Gavin Newsom, all-time low. It's like, no, your
I love
cops
that
don't do
video
anything.
that someone made recently where he talks about homelessness. Have you seen that video? And it's like 20 years of him talking about homelessness and how he's gonna
worst.
solve homelessness.
He's the scariest and worst
Find
person,
that.
dude.
Can you find that
He's
video?
gonna see it right now. It's already here somewhere. Is this Gavin Newsom is not going to let us.
God.
Veterans homelessness.
Oh yeah, there's a
Yeah.
decline.
Let's talk about veteran homelessness.
Treatment.
Do you
not
know about
tax.
Agent Orange? Do you know about Agent Orange in the Vietnam
Yeah.
War? You know, we didn't even help any of those guys out.
No.
And we were just fucking destroyed their bodies with fertilizer.
Well, do you remember the Gulf War disease?
I heard something
So
about
after
that.
the Gulf War, all these guys were coming home with this crazy disease that no one could figure out, right?
Radiation or what?
So no one ever knows because they were researching it. Guess where? At the Oklahoma building that blew up. And who was in charge of that? Bill Clinton.
No way.
Yep.
I hate Bill Clinton, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's trying to do. So the guy builds basically the Microsoft operating system, crazy thing. Then he decides, hey, I want to do vaccines. Let me go vaccinate Africa.
Oh, you're talking about Bill Gates.
Who
I'm talking about Bill Clinton.
Oh, Bill
Clinton was in
Clinton.
charge
I'm sorry.
of the state.
I love
when,
you know what Clintons. I got even
Bill-
more dirt on them. I
Oh,
hate the
God.
Clintons. Hey, how come the
but
Clintons
Bill
have
Gates,
80
fuck.
people around them that committed suicide or tragically died in some sort of weird way? And then all this Epstein files going.
Well, Epstein was a Mossad spy.
Correct.
He was just collecting information on people and blackmailing everybody. He's not dead. He's somewhere. There's pictures of him in Florida.
Yeah, it's convenient that the cell he was in, the cameras just went out and he was found dead. The
That happens all the
autopsy.
time.
That's very weird to me. And yeah, I don't think he's dead. I don't think.
No,
he's dead.
absolutely not. I mean, I don't think there's even like Tupac, Elvis. They're all still alive. I think
The big
Prince is probably still alive. Although Prince was saying a lot of crazy shit before he died about chemtrails and about a lot of stuff that we talked about today.
That's true.
So he might be dead.
The big one for me is Hitler. I do not think Hitler died outside a bunker in World War II.
No,
I think
he was in
got away.
Argentina for sure.
Do you see those communities out there?
Yeah, for sure.
Thousands of them, and like those guys are all working with each other. You know what I mean? Like they know one person who comes in that's foreign, boom, they're on his ass right away.
Yeah. No, for sure.
What is this? Let's watch this. This man and his bioweapon scientist created COVID-19 with U.S. government funding. A mass murderer who can't remember anything about his crimes. Oh, this is great. Watch this.
I have no recollection. I'm sorry. Would you repeat the question? What's the question again?
I love when they do that.
I don't.
That's what my lawyer told me to do.
I don't recall anything.
I
from
don't
that
recall.
point.
He said, just say, I don't recall.
I don't recall. I may have, but I don't recall. I don't specifically.
This is the guy who was in charge
recall
of
that.
the CDC, Center of Disease Control, during COVID, who was telling
So-
us all to get back.
All this,
Yeah,
you show me
please.
this now and ask me the
So have you ever,
question, do you recall
this is kind of like, for
I'd have
me,
to
this
say
is
I don't recall.
the bottom of the rabbit hole for
I don't
me.
recall.
Which one?
Possible, but I
Here,
don't
pause it real quick.
recall. You know, I'm
So have you ever looked in, some people call it sovereign citizenship. I don't call it that because sovereign citizens are on the FBI's most wanted list. So
Yeah.
that's just like a word you don't use. But have you ever looked into the difference between a U.S. citizen and a national.
So
Like if you look at your passport, you have a passport, obviously.
yeah.
If you look at your U.S. passport, it says, I was going to bring my passport too. It says U.S. citizen / nationalist.
Okay.
So clearly there's two. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any research on that?
No, never.
Have you ever looked into like Black Law's dictionary?
No, never.
Do you know about common law? The difference between
Not too
common
much
law
about it.
and maritime law. Basically, we're living under maritime law. Do you know what your straw man is? So your
Yeah, I know
straw
what that
man is your name in capital letters.
Okay.
Okay, it's on your bank statements, on your driver's license. It's a corporation.
Yeah.
So when you were born, your parents got you a birth certificate,
Correct.
which is traded on the stock market, and your social security number it's like an IEN number. It's like a corporation. It's an LLC.
Okay. Like
So
through my ID,
you're
yeah.
allotted like a certain amount of money, and they loan it to you with interest. Yeah, you should look into it. It's very interesting.
Wait, so I can
Like you don't need a driver's license.
So I can I can be a sovereign citizen, and what, do I not pay taxes anymore?
Taxes.
No, but I mean, like you said, there's two types of citizens, right? National and sovereign citizen, right?
Yeah, if you're a U.S. citizen, you're definitely paying taxes,
Yeah.
for sure.
But
And you have to get a driver's license and all the other licenses.
But you know, the people who say like they're sovereign citizens, I don't abide by the laws, I don't abide by taxes, I eat off the land, you know what I mean? Those guys, they don't have to pay anything taxes, right, on the money they make, or
No one has to pay taxes. Taxes is not. It's not in the Constitution.
it's so funny that we left because we were paying taxes, and then all of a sudden we're paying taxes.
Oh yeah, they revolted over 3%. Now we're paying like 40%.
3% they revolted.
3%.
I didn't really know that.
3% on tea, just tea.
Amazing.
That's why they revolted.
That's the America I miss.
It wasn't even income tax. It was tax on tea.
That's how
Yeah.
it should be. That's how it should be.
Absolutely.
Because this.
Well,
tax
biblically, you're not supposed to pay any percentage of tax.
except to God, I guess, or helping him, maybe, helping expand His word, maybe.
Well, that's modern day.
Yeah. Okay.
That's modern day tithing. Tithing in the biblical days was you brought, so if you had goats, right?
Yeah.
Or sheep, you would bring one and that would feed the priests or whatever, right? So nowadays in a modern day, we don't have sheep, we have money, so we give that and that pays the pastor or the church or whatever. So my dad's a pastor.
Yeah.
So growing up, that was his income, was the church, right? The church
Yeah.
paid him. Our house, the house we lived in was called a parsonage.
Communion or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, communion, or not communion, but tithing, right? You give 10%. That was the
Repaint the outside,
standard.
fix it up, some sort of that. Keep the pastor in
But
town, right?
that was his income. Was we stayed in the house that the church owned. The church
Yeah.
owned a house, and that's the house we lived in. We didn't own a house, and that was part of our pay, his pay. So I get the tithing part because it does take care of the pastor who takes care of his flock, right?
Of course, I love that.
But then you have these mega churches where it's like
Joel Osteen.
trash. Modern day Christianity is trash.
Look at Joel Osteen's house for me, please. You know who Joel Osteen is?
Yeah, I know 100%.
Have you seen his fucking house?
Well,
dude?
and he doesn't preach from the Bible either.
Have you seen Joel Osteen's house? Have you seen O.L. Steen. Olstein.
Ben who?
Joel Osteen.
Ben's got a nice house too, though.
That's a cool little crib. 2 E's. Oh yeah, Olstein. The pastor, yeah, Joel Osteen. I think that's it. Scroll down. Oh, have you seen this guy?
That video, my God.
We're gonna watch that right after. Look at his house. This
Dude,
is Joel
that's
Osteen's house,
big.
dude.
And are the people of the church living there? That's
No,
yeah, well,
no, there was
they should be.
during the rain or whatever
I
happened.
remember
Why?
that, the
He closed it
floods.
down.
Yeah.
and he came back and said, "No, guys."
And the pillow guy took people into his warehouses.
Oh, but he's a Trump supporter. We can't talk to that
No.
guy. He's a monster. It's fucking a scam. But look at that house. You're a pastor. You're spreading the Lord's message. You know what blows my mind about religion is like, I get it. You know, it's a needed thing. We need it. We need a higher power. But how can religion be making so much money, yet there's still people hungry and poor on earth? Right? Isn't it kind of like contradicts itself?
100%.
It's like weird.
Well, we
It's
weren't supposed to have
weird.
governments. We were supposed to have, biblically, you have a judge.
Yeah.
God said, don't have a king, don't have a ruler. He wanted to have judges. That was it.
It should be community.
Well, yeah, and if the community couldn't figure it out, then you bring it to the judge, and the judge would figure it out.
And it goes up the chain. That's how it is.
But there was no rulers, there was no king originally, and the people just couldn't do it. So then they had kings, right? But the thing that bothers me about modern day Christianity,
yeah, the
for one, they don't
follow.
for one, they don't follow the Bible at all. You've got
I believe that.
You've got Christmas, which is, it's Nimrod's birthday. It's not Jesus' birthday. Personally, I think Jesus was born on September 11th. Never forget 9/11. Makes sense. Number two.
Where did you hear that one?
This dude, he passed away recently from cancer, but he did a lot of research on the stars, right? And he tracked back to that time period. And there was an alignment of all these planets, which made this really bright star. And it was on September 11th. It was like 02, let's say, or 03 or something. It was off, because the Catholics created the calendars and before that we followed the moon.
Yeah.
We followed the sky.
Yeah, that's what we were. Yeah.
We followed the sky.
The solstices.
That's why, the Ten Commandments, like honor the Sabbath. Who knows when the Sabbath is? We don't know because we don't follow the sky anymore.
You know, there's another thing about it is like, you're right. They were looking up at the skies. They were very curious about 100%. The skies. They were
at night, that's all you saw was the sky.
Oh yeah. That's why you see the pyramid aligned in perfect north-south with certain stars. You know, 100%. All this stuff is pre-planned, and it's not like it's not like these people were dumb. They were smart. But the thing is, where do they get this knowledge? Where do they get this knowledge? Have you heard a story about the Yellow Emperor?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love this. The Yellow Emperor was a Chinese emperor. It was like one of the first. They built a whole freaking museum out of him. The story goes, he was floating through the clouds. He landed on Earth. He saw the people poor, hungry, and weak. And he taught them agriculture, how to plow.
Okay, that's biblical too. And read the book of Enoch.
And then, yeah, correct. That's another one. And then he said he placed down a cauldron, and it shot up a yellow beam, and he left on a dragon. What the fuck does this shit sound like? I mean,
no, every culture has that same shit too.
Even the Mayans had something similar to that.
I know you semi-believe in aliens.
Yeah, I big semi. Come on, guy.
Aliens are.
I live for aliens.
They're just fallen angels. That's all it is.
Well, you're okay. So what about different dimensions now? Okay, but what about different dimensions?
Well, there is, of course. There's no. To me, there's no planets where you can go. I'm going to go to this planet. No, you're not going to go to that planet.
So fallen angels or interdimensional beings that we just can't see. 4-dimensional people, 5-dimensional people, 6-dimensional people.
You could call it that. I'm not saying they're. Yeah. I mean, the spiritual world, you can't see the spiritual world.
Well, the human body doesn't die. There's no way the human spirit dies. Because...
Well, you got to...
Yeah,
here's the thing. Everything has 3, right? Everything has a body, a soul, and a spirit.
Yeah.
The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. That's it's all... Everything, you can relate everything to the Bible, in my opinion, because I know the Bible well. But here's the thing that drives me crazy about modern day religion.
Yeah.
The Catholics, the Christians, whatever. It says, these are my appointed times, right? You're supposed to celebrate these appointed times. We don't celebrate any of those appointed times, right? And then it says over and over and over in the Bible that his name is so important. His name is like the most important thing. What's his name? No one even knows his name. They call him Lord. Is a Lord a God? No, a Lord is not a God. A Lord is like way below the king.
Yeah.
His name's not God. So if his name is so important, why does no one know his name? Because they erased it.
Well, who do you think
His
erased it?
name
Who do you
is
think erased it, though?
his name is the Catholics, I think personally.
Have you looked at like the Talmud a little bit? What the
I haven't,
Oh,
but I know the Bible well
you,
though.
you should. I don't know a lot about the Talmud. It's like the Jewish version of the Bible.
Well, I mean that's the Old Testament technically. I don't know. I would love to learn Hebrew so that I could read the Hebrew Bible.
It would blow your mind.
I would love to do that.
It would blow your mind.
I'm a little bit old and I'm not very good at learning at this point.
Yeah.
But
No, audiobooks.
oh, that would work. Yeah.
I love audiobooks. I tried reading. I bought like 8 books one day on Amazon thinking that was awesome. I was like, all right, I'm going to read a fucking audiobook. This is true.
I just bought a book off Amazon. And I'm like, I'm going to read this to my stepson, and I haven't read any of it yet. All the same way. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get an audiobook of it.
Dude, there's this one book. It's so good. It's about World War II, the SS Gestapo. Have you heard about them? No. You know who that is? So
well, I know who that is, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Gestapo's like what the CIA's like came out of. It's like what they ascended into.
What they tried to become.
No. It's what they became. I think a lot of the Gestapo guys were some of the rat line people through the Vatican. And,
Okay.
And yeah, because like all these, like CIA was improved highly by the Gestapo, and then you had all the scientists who came in for NASA, who tried to get us to space, but in reality just built more rockets, I think. But
Yeah, it was rockets and it was Hollywood, in my opinion. I mean, why do rockets go like this? And they just I mean, you want to talk about rockets? Let's talk about the Challenger. The Challenger
but those
explosion.
are but those which one?
Where everyone's still alive from the Challenger explosion. You haven't looked into that?
What's the
Look
Challenger? Remind me,
this
jog
up.
my memory again.
Okay, so when I was a kid, there was a teacher that was going to be on the space shuttle. So they made every
Oh yes,
school,
I remember now.
They made every school watch this, right? And it was super traumatic because the thing blew up. And it put it in our brain how dangerous space travel is.
This right here?
Yeah.
Did you
We were watching this in school and it blew up.
Holy shit.
Okay, now all of the astronauts that were on that flight are still alive.
No fucking way. I don't believe that.
They're all still alive. They had twin brothers. Some of them still have the same name. They're all still alive. It was
Are they?
bullshit. They just blew up an empty space shuttle to scare the shit out of us as kids and to believe in space. Look up the thing where the Challenger astronauts are still alive. You'll find it.
Yes, I looked up on Google.
I don't know if I'd
astronauts
use
still
Google.
alive.
I don't know if I'd want to use Google, but
Yeah, right. Well, that's why I'm waiting for Elon Musk to drop his web browser. It's going to be so much best.
We'll
so
see.
much better with the X search, whatever it is, X web browser. 7
Oh,
myths
yes,
about
7
the
myths.
Challenger. Oh, by NBC News.
Yeah,
That's
don't
gonna be
listen-
the
don't
best.
look at that.
Go back. Challenger crew. 7 people died in the space shuttle Challenger disaster.
you might have to use something other than Google.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to find this, honestly.
One of them even he was a president of another company, and the website at this time when this guy made this video, it was a cow on a spaceship, right? On their website. When you open up their website, and it did the exact same pattern explosion that the Challenger did. And
Oh,
he was
really?
like the CEO of this
Oh, God.
this aeronautics company. Yeah.
Which was another one that exploded recently? I mean, Elon Musk is setting him up and bringing him back all of a sudden. So I mean, like, so Elon Musk, he's bringing rockets back, right? You see him coming back. Am I wrong?
From where?
You haven't seen
From
him
the
launch?
sky.
Yeah, he launches the rocket and then it lands. He lands the rocket back. You've seen that, right?
And I should be impressed. Why? I mean, have you seen the Apollo? When they used to land, they'd have a thing and they'd land in the ocean and then they go rescue them. Have you seen the video of them pushing that out of a plane?
No.
Have you seen that yet?
No, I have not seen
Well, there's
that.
video of them just pushing the little top part that they supposedly went to the moon in and came back. There's a video of them pushing it out of a plane in the 60s, and then
No
the
fucking way.
parachute goes out, then it lands on the ocean. Yeah, bro, come on. This is all a scam.
Oh my god, I want to see this picture if it actually exists.
What is it, Apollo 10?
I don't know which one it was, but one of them, you know, it's like the little capsule that's supposed to come back to Earth, and they're pushing it out of an airplane.
Dude, so you want something crazy? Some guy crashed into a restaurant, into one of our restaurants recently.
Really?
Yeah, high on fentanyl. It was so sad. You should have seen this guy. He looks so
You go
sick.
to jail?
I don't know what happened, but it was...
My grandma just crashed into a building the other day. I don't know why was still driving.
It's risky to drive now, dude. People
She
are
was 95.
People are Sue friendly right now. People are Sue hungry. You know, like you see it every corner you go on. It's billboards, injury attorney, injury attorney, injury attorney, injury attorney.
That's all.
They're
That's all there is
bank. They're just ambulance
lawyers
chasers.
everywhere.
They're all ambulance chasers.
Oh, have you guys ever seen the? What is it called? So I follow this dude. He has a podcast.
What's his name? I'd probably watch it.
They're amazing, but he used to film the moon all the time. He would film the moon, and it's called the lunar wave, and it looks like the moon is like resetting. You know what I mean? When your
I think
your
I've seen
screen
something like
resets.
that. Yeah, I've seen something
And
like that.
multiple people have caught it.
The lunar wave.
Yeah, see, it goes across.
Let me see what screen.
It's either like,
That line right there.
yeah.
Like the pixels are.
So it's either resetting, like it's some sort of
You know
digital
that-
image, or it's in water, and that's a wave, which is biblical.
Have you seen this fascination with the backside of the moon?
Well, you know why they're all landing on the backside of the moon?
Why is that?
Because you can get a P90 Canon camera, and you can get so close to the moon that you'd know they're not landing on the front of the moon.
Oh no!
So
no.
they have to land on the back of the moon.
They're saying there's some bases on the moon.
Sure.
They're saying there's bases. You don't believe that?
Nah, you can't get to the moon. We both talked the radiation belt. You can't get to the moon.
So you look at an ant, right? You see an ant.
An ant, sure.
Yeah, he's got his whole colony. He's got a whole fucking life. He's a worker. He's got a position in his colony.
There's an ant hill in my backyard that's
Tell me.
about this big.
No fucking way.
Right now,
I would
yeah.
just watch them all day long. If I was...
It's wild. So you imagine if it's this big.
Oh, you got to see underground.
Imagine how
There's
huge
people
that
who,
is.
There's people who excavate those, and they look insane, absolutely insane.
Can you see who?
But listen, you're looking at these ants; they have no idea.
Who shot the lunar wave, the original one? Because I'm trying to think of his name. Crow 777.
Lunar wave.
Look up CRRO 77 or 777.
Of course.
Oh, sorry, W. Sorry, oh there it is.
That's him
Crow.
right there. Boom. Of course, this is it. I got to see this.
Welcome to Crow 777 channel. On this channel,
Oh, dude,
you'll
he's
see
got
only
so many
videos
Which one
that
is
are
this?
shot
What's it called?
Crow 777. Well, here's
is this
the
it?
I
the
shoot
lunar.
everything
Well, he's
high
filmed all
definition,
kinds of
and a
stuff
lot
on
of
the
it
moon.
Yeah.
shot through an 8-inch
Is he
telescope.
into aliens or is he in a flat Earth?
He's a flat earther, and he.
The moon.
What about that? That's a fucking UFO right there. What's that?
Yeah, but what is
Space
UFO?
anomalies.
Unidentified
Flying object. Yeah, so it's
I make a
probably a
pledge
fucking
to
spaceship
all the
from some
subscribers on
alien.
my channel that I
You remember the
will
Roswell
It's
incident?
unidentified.
You know this picture right
I will
here?
never edit the clips
Yeah,
in a
that's
way is
that was a
deceptive.
early satellite.
This is in the Roswell incident when
That's
they
an early satellite balloon.
Telescope.
That's what they tried to say it was.
Weather balloon. That's a weather balloon.
No, but that's what they lied and said it was. The Roswell incident announced a UFO, and it was all over the newspapers during the time. The very next day, they redacted it and say, "Oops, false alarm! It was a weather balloon." And they took this picture with the military. The guy who was there.
Supposedly they got lasers from it, right? Laser technology, all these different technologies from Roswell.
There used to be a computer, like one of the first computers that we used, right?
That was
And-
supposedly from Roswell.
No, it's not even from Roswell. I think it was like during the 50s. And this computer, it was like the size of this entire room, this whole room. Within 10 years, we figured out the microchip, and we took that whole room into a little chip. I mean, where did that information come from? You can't think.
I'm not
that
saying that there's some other beings that are helping.
Einstein.
Just like
look
just
at
like
Einstein.
Einstein was an actor, in my
Oh
opinion.
my God.
But here's the thing. They're all actors. It's life is like it's just like a movie being played out, and they put actors like Elon Musk, like Bill Gates, like what's the Facebook guy? Zuckerberg is he's a Rothschild. He's a Rothschild, and then just gave him a different name. And the CIA created Facebook to watch and control you. Come on. You think some college student created that just for fun? No. That's a tracking device.
Have you ever read the OS agreement? Like when you agree to your operating system? Like that 20 million. Of course you're not. No one's ever going to read it. But basically, they can check you out whenever they want. They can hear you whenever they want. They're taking data, information off you, what 100%. You order, what you like, what you're into. And the beautiful part about it is the most expensive part is not making profit off the phone, is the data that they're getting off you and selling.
They have huge warehouses where they just store all of that crap.
They have so much data on us. And then this is the data that's going to build the AI computer that they want to build. I mean, it's going to take time, but it's not like, oh, it's never going to happen. I mean, go to the 90s and say, oh, yeah, there's going to be fully electric cars that go to 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. People are going to be like, never.
Well, the electric car is crap. Let's all admit it.
Brother, listen,
if you only drive around town and you charge it at your home.
It's like a go-kart,
that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you do the kind of traveling I do,
no, you can't do that.
There's no way.
You could do it in a Cybertruck.
If you
not long distance though. Not long
the
distance.
The Cybertruck goes about 100 miles before it needs a charge.
You need extra
and
gallons of gas going.
2 hours to charge it. Cost about the same amount of money in gas.
You need a good amount of gas where you go.
I just watched a video on YouTube the other day, and they tested. They had a Cybertruck and they had a F-250 diesel, and they were towing a trailer. Small trailer, not a big trailer, small trailer. The Cybertruck couldn't even go 100 miles towing the trailer, and it needed a charge. So they stopped. They both stopped at a gas station where they had a charger. The Cybertruck charged. The diesel truck filled up because it was not even a quarter of a tank.
Yeah, they wait like 20 minutes just chilling there waiting for it to fill up.
So the diesel took 5 minutes to fill up. It cost $20. The Cybertruck took almost 2 hours to charge, and it was $45
for filling up the Cybertruck. Well, you heard Gavin Newsom's begging these.
So how does that make sense? And the F-250 could have went another 300 miles towing that trailer.
100%.
Before it needed to fill up.
Gavin Newsom is begging Californians not to charge your electric vehicle because the grid can't handle it.
Well, not only that, but he's losing all the taxes on gas now.
He's what?
He's losing so much money on taxes.
He's about to start a new...
well, they're going to charge you by the mile now.
Gas tax, yeah.
They're going to charge you by the mile now if you have an EV.
I wonder how that's going to fucking work. That's so weird to me.
I mean, that's not.
And it's funny because
I drive trucks. That's not a truck.
I don't like that truck either.
What is that?
I mean, it's fun, I guess, but it's not a truck. You're right.
If you're like a trendy weirdo, like I guess that's like.
I kind of like those fast ones that are coming out, like those ones with the Hellcat engines in them. Have you seen those?
Oh, where people are just tearing the guts out of them and.
No, the what is?
Or they're just taking the bodies and putting them on Raptor bodies. Basically,
it's the TRX. Have you seen the TRX?
The Toyota.
No, it's the type in the TRX pickup. This is a 700 and.
What is TRX? Is that Ram?
Yeah, Ram TRX. Yeah. This is a 7.
Oh no, those are dope.
It's 720 horsepower. I mean, I love this new trend.
But that's not an EV though.
No, it's not. But I mean, that's a fucking sick car. Like talk about pickup. And then Raptor does one.
No, Rams. The Rams are coming out with some dope.
Yeah, like Raptor does one as well. That's a supercharged Hemi like that.
Yeah. I love my F-250.
Are you gonna get like one of those massive campers?
Why? I got a little camper and it's
perfect.
No,
it's great.
I can go on trails. I can go through the trees. I can go through the rocks.
Are you gonna build a cabin like a real, like a true American outbacker?
So here's my plan.
Tell me.
So we're waiting for escrow to pass. We just bought a little house in downtown, and I'm not going to say where.
Please.
And but eventually, I would like to buy some property up in the mountains a little bit.
Of course.
And build a little cabin. That's my. In the next 5 years, I'm going to be on 35 acres and have a little cabin.
Oh, that's so much. And it'll be beautiful.
It'll be completely self-sustained, and when the shit goes down, I'll be there.
Are you gonna be fully self-sufficient over there and shit?
Yes.
What's the plan for the cattle and stuff like that? You gonna have a few chickens?
I will definitely have chickens. Maybe some sheep or something like that. I don't want to do cattle, but
Chickens, sheep. I mean, how many chicken or eggs do chicken lay a day? Once every other day, roughly.
I think you can get 4 a day from 2 chickens, probably.
Depending on the feed, maybe.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. My
fucking
brother has a
lot.
gang. My brother has a gang of chickens.
Chickens.
And
I love chickens.
they've got eggs for days.
Oh yeah. And then you sprout a new chicken. You got chickens. Eat some good ass chicken. Roast that shit. Fuck yeah. So
I mean, I could live off eggs too. I love eggs. I eat eggs. I would eat eggs at every meal.
I could live off white rice if I had to. If it came down to it.
Can we take a little break?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay, I got to get rid of all these beers I drank.
No, it's not good. Help yourself. We'll come back for like maybe like 15 more minutes.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the number of people they're estimating is 12 million. Find out real quick one more time how many illegals just came across the border on Twitter. Let's find a good article.
Well, I mean, they're UN soldiers.
Like, go on Twitter, find out. They're what?
UN soldiers.
Oh, a lot of them are.
Yeah. They have cards. They have debit cards. UN debit cards.
The Chinese apparently have their own separate rat line that's separate from everyone else's to come in.
You know what's funny? Have you seen they're
all military?
Have you seen all the flyers that they put in like the bathrooms along the way?
Never.
Like, vote for Biden.
Of course. Biden brought you here.
Biden is and they say it.
Here's a phone and a credit card, $1,200. Remember who got you that? Oh, and then what about those phones will be getting messages? Don't forget Biden. Don't forget Biden, your favorite, your godfather. I mean,
it's probably got his face as a screensaver. I'm sure.
That's so good. No, but okay. So not only is there how many came across? How many immigrants came into the U.S.? You see a number that says 12 million anywhere? Go down. Right. What's that? Is this it? No, that's not it. Go back. I can't. Go back a little bit.
46 million?
No, it's not it. Go up. Type in 2.
You guys got to stop using Google.
Nah, this guy 2.6 million. Okay, everyone's saying it's 12 million. That's what it is. It's around 10 to 12 million because a lot of them are untracked. Oh, apparently it's like 150,000.
How could you keep track of that?
There's 150,000 kids they can't find.
Okay, I go.
150,000 kids.
Oh well, they're eating them.
We don't know where they are.
When I go,
they're in Hillary's face. Adrenochrome.
I was talking about Anza Barango, going to Anza Barango, right? So when you go out there, you there's 2 ways to go. You can either go through Ocotillo Wells or you can go through San Diego and then you go up the 8, which is right along the border, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
There's tents. There's little camps set up. It's called Jamaica Springs or Jamaga something Springs, something JAM. And there's just in little encampments set up all along the 8 freeway right there. And they come in and they put them in these tents, camps, and then they I don't know where they're sending them, probably to San Diego or LA.
I'm hearing that almost all of them that are coming across the border have to pay like $5,000 to $10,000 to come across, like to be smuggled in by coyotes. So I mean, if you do the math on 12,000, let's say 12 million people, right? Each paying $5,000 a pop. 12 million.
Crazy.
That's $60 billion. You're telling me the only people making that money was the cartel?
No.
Who?
No, there's kickbacks.
You can't operate.
Yeah.
You cannot operate. We're the big fucking hammer. We'll hit anything right on the head dead in a second.
Yeah.
Are you making money? What are we going to get from it?
Yeah.
All righty then. Yeah. Be careful. If we need you in Mexico to kill 26 politicians before the election, we'll let you know. Did you see
start the Civil War.
Did you see the lady that got elected in Mexico?
Oh, yeah.
The president?
The Jew? Yeah.
26 or something like that. 30 people died during her candidacy that were running like opposition. Yeah, in like different districts or something crazy.
Have you ever looked at how many Jews are presidents of countries right now? It's staggering.
almost all of them have to have a handler. I heard, like a Jewish handler. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird because I was thinking the other day when I was a kid, they took us to like a Jewish museum. And I'm like, why do they take us to any other kind of like different history museum?
Yeah.
Like, why not like a World War II museum? Not just like a Jewish Holocaust museum, like
Right.
kind of like everything that happened, you know?
Well, World War II was all about that. It was about establishing Israel.
But do you know how many Christians died? Do you know how many Christians died during the
Do you know
ball?
about the Masonic book that was written by Pike? And how
a little
he
bit.
basically told the story of the 3 world wars?
No.
Okay, well, they've all followed along with his book so far.
He predicted it?
And it was prediction. I mean, you could say prediction, or you could say the
Spiritual
script,
knowledge, something?
or you could say the script
Yeah.
of the world wars.
It's a script right now.
It's a script. Okay, well, then you should look into Pike and the Masonic Bible and how he's predicted, and you should see what World War III will be, because it's already
coming.
playing itself
No,
out
it's here.
exactly
It's
the way
here.
he wrote
It's
it.
here. And that's why you got to get out.
Exactly the way he
That's
wrote
why you
it.
got to get out.
Yeah.
That's why you got to go high up in Colorado and get the fuck out.
Well, I mean, that's not going to save you forever, but
Oh, it will.
it's a good plan.
You got enough guns?
Thanks for telling everyone the state I moved to. I'm just kidding.
Fuck out of here, bro. You know how many people are up there?
I'm just kidding.
There's so many people. I mean, what am I going to do if something happens? Like, see, the thing about it is, and then I've said this many times, here in LA, things pop off.
Oh,
my
you're
God.
fucked.
Oh my God. It's like the zombie apocalypse.
Unless you have a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you have a boat, you're not.
Or hijack a boat. Yeah, you're fucked. You're fucked.
You gotta jump on an airplane. You gotta go to Torrance Airport and jump on
You're
an
never
airplane.
getting on an airplane.
Well, you gotta steal one.
Everyone's going to be AR-15 and shooting anyone that gets close. Like the initial wave.
like rooftop Koreans.
Yeah. It's going to be an initial wave is what's going to happen. So like I've already predicted how it's kind of going to go down. There's going to be an initial wave of like super conspiracy prone people who are deep into it, who are going to get out first, and you're going to kind of see it in your neighborhood. You're going to see people kind of like load up,
Prepping.
yeah, and like kind of like getting out, get like moving, U-hauled, all this stuff. So like there will be initial signs.
That's me right now.
Yes, that's me very soon.
I'm getting the fuck out.
That's me very soon too. And then there's going to be the other wave of people that hear about it when it goes down. Boom, it goes down, right? And those people are going to freak out. They're going to mob the stores. And there's going to be the rich people who say, oh, this is nothing. It'll blow over. I know everything. I go to Trader Joe's.
Right.
Right?
I shop at Whole Foods. I'm fine.
And then their houses, and then their whole gated community is going to get stormed by the
Yeah.
freaking hungry militia from South Central.
It only takes a couple months for it to or weeks, probably, yeah.
See if you could find that clip from the movie. There's a movie clip up there on one of the X's. See if you can find it for me. The first one. Oh, see if you can find it there. It's from the scene. Go up a little bit. You know, man, I've been thinking this thing is so fragile, and our cops are so weak these days. You get like 20
Well, I mean, you
right
think
there.
about it.
That movie scene. Listen, you get 20 well-trained guys in the streets of LA with all the explosives they need, all the equipment they need, all the prep they need. You can joke with me? They could shut LA down for a good while. Remember that one cop that killed a bunch of guys and fled to the mountains? And they had
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
I had
he
I had a
military.
T-shirt with him on it, and it said FTP, and it had him with his AR.
One guy had the cops going crazy because he was a sniper in the mountains. You know what I mean? He knew what he was doing.
They took him out though.
Yeah, they got. But he got how many before
He was
died?
trying to end the corruption in LAPD too.
Well,
That's
he
why
could have
they
been an
went after him.
MK Ultra subject. Who knows?
Who knows?
You know, the MK Ultra thing is by far the weirdest one to me because JFK and RFK, both the guys who killed them, apparently have no memory of what happened. The guy who killed, Oslo or whatever his Lee Harvey Oswald, as he was going to court. Jack Ruby had no idea what happened. All three of these guys don't know what the fuck happened to them at all. They maintain this.
I heard a story, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he was ex-military, and he was offered the job to do the Oklahoma City bombing. And they said they would give him $2 million. He was an ex-military special forces guy. And he was like, I'm not going to do that. And the dude that did it, I forget his name. Look up the Oklahoma City bombing. It was a friend of his. It was a colleague of his who did the bombing. But like I was saying, they were trying to hide. They were doing research in that federal building of the Gulf War syndrome. They were
I
trying
want to know what Gulf War syndrome is. Can we check that out after this real quick on YouTube? No, look at what this one is. What were this Oklahoma City bombing there?
Yep.
Here, go up. That one?
No, that's not
go
it.
up. Where is it? Is that it?
So he took a truck of formaldehyde, and he had a whole truck of
That's not how you spell Oklahoma.
whatever. That's why you can't find it. There it is.
Oklahoma.
Oh, Hillary Clinton.
Is that it?
Look, she's laughing about it. Shocking.
Reminder, this building in Oklahoma City was blown up and destroyed just 4 days before Hillary Clinton was to be indicted in the Whitewater scandal. All documents lost.
So not only that, but the documents for
What's the Whitewater scandal? Check that out. Yeah,
that
what were
was
you
all
saying?
her email shit that was that disappeared, and
Was that was?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then what were you saying?
but also in that building they were researching the Gulf War syndrome.
Check Gulf War syndrome out for me because I need this has to be some sort of radiation or poison or gas or something you're talking about, right?
It was either that or it was a vaccine, because I know they vaccinated all of them for some crazy shit before they went over there.
We used some sort of sound wave in Vietnam that actually like did something to the soldiers. It was like this giant kind of sound speaker. We would
Like
aim it at them.
they do that shit. And
It would freak them out.
The SWAT teams have those.
Yeah, it would freak out the
Yeah.
the Vietnamese. Medically unexplained. Find a short. Tell me there's a short. Gulf War syndrome. No, that's not it.
They're probably. I mean, the internet at this point is probably saying that it's
Syndrome.
PST.
Simple
or
history.
PTSD.
Right there. Gulf War illness breakthrough. Is that it? Gulf War yeah, right there. Play that. Turn it up. That's got to be it.
Oh, it's from the VA, so it's got to be right.
I mean, the VA.
It's got to be
kinda-
accurate.
The VA is kind of okay about it sometimes.
Approximately 700,000 men and women served in the Persian Gulf War operations known as Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Though these conflicts were brief and had few casualties, the environmental conditions were harsh.
But we were there for months and months and months in the elements, in the heat, in the cold, in the rain, in sand.
Oh, yeah, that's what
After
did it
the
to you.
war, 1 in 4
The sand and the
service
heat.
members would eventually develop a combination of unexplained medical symptoms, now known as Gulf War syndrome or Gulf War illness. Gulf War illness can affect many parts of the body, including the nervous system, the gastrointestinal system,
I think that was the heat and the
endocrine
sand.
system,
No.
and the immune
course not.
system. Because of this, its symptoms can range in severity. Common symptoms of Gulf War illness involve chronic pain, such as aching joints.
Yeah, they got fucked up with
headaches,
something.
Yeah.
They
gastrointestinal
fucked them up
issues,
with something.
respiratory
It was
problems,
blowback. It was they were trying to use it against the enemy. It was probably blowback against their own men.
Joints, you know,
Either that or it was something they gave them
my
before they went there.
finger joints, my wrist.
I mean, they used to give soldiers speed in Vietnam.
They're still giving Air Force fighters meth
Everything goes numb.
to stay
That's
awake
where
for those
meth
ships.
came from.
Oh,
That's where meth was originated.
did you ever see that
Was for
video
the
of?
military.
Did you ever see a video of Adolf Hitler at the Olympics, cracked out on meth, rocking back and forth? That was the funniest thing ever. Find out Hitler at the Olympics.
I love that they've been translating some of his speeches lately, and it's
Oh,
like
it's like whoa, normal.
it's like
I don't
oh,
understand.
yeah, that makes sense. I would agree with that.
Do you know what the Bolsheviks?
Oh yeah, he's on a good one.
Dude, he's cracked.
I mean, that's sped up for sure, but
Put it on 0.75 speed.
he's on a good one.
Go to settings. Put it on 0.75 speed. Let's say it's sped up 0.75.
Oh, it's
speed.
for sure. Look at everybody who's sped up.
Bro, there's no one. moving.
Yeah, he's on a good one.
Is that his gun in his hand? What is it? No, he's
I think he's
shaking
jerking
his-
off or something.
Nah, he's messed up. He's cracked. I think he was on a lot of stuff. That guy died happy in Argentina. Let me tell you.
Yeah, probably like 76.
Maybe even longer. He's probably frozen. I think he's frozen, like Walt Disney, right?
Right next to Walt.
Right next to Walt.
Probably Walt's homeboy. He's there.
There's
with,
connections.
He's there with Grandpa Bush.
There's
it's like
connections.
Grandpa Bush, Hitler, and fucking Walt Disney.
There's connections
frozen
with
together.
Walt in World War II. There's a lot of weird connections with World War II. You know the bag Hermes? Or no, not the bag Hermes.
The plan was to get Israel as a state.
Yeah.
That was the plan. Read the Pike. Read the Masonic Bible or whatever they call it that Pike wrote. And it says World War II was to make Israel a state.
So right now there's a religious war happening, basically, right? Like beyond the global war, let's go into the spiritual realm. There's a religious war, right? The Christians are propped up, the Jews are propped up, the Muslims are fucking propped up.
When I look at a religious
Catholics
war,
are all secretive.
To me, it's the synagogue of Satan against God. That's the way I look at it. And so you have God, the creator of all things, against the synagogue of Satan. I mean, read the book of Enoch. We were talking about the aliens.
The sphere within a sphere.
The aliens.
3 men inside.
The aliens came down and gave their knowledge, right?
Yeah.
To mankind. Well, God, that's not what God wanted. God didn't want them to know all these things. The Tower of Babel. You know? Read the book of Enoch.
I'm going to read it.
You read the book of Enoch,
I'm gonna read
which was taken out of the Bible. Why do you think it was taken out of the Bible?
In a way that is eerily similar to hell, but for fallen angels known as the Watchers.
The Watchers.
Enoch explains seeing
the Anunnaki.
Greater than any earthly darkness.
It's the Anunnaki.
And he's seen prisoners in the second heaven awaiting.
You think we were bio-created?
He asks an angel why they were in prison.
No, well, we
were bioengineered from monkeys.
They came. It says they came down and they fucked the women. And they created the offspring, which became the giants.
That's right.
I mean, we haven't even talked about the giants yet.
The Nephilim?
No, the giants.
There were giants.
Of course there were giants.
I mean, who's going to build the pyramids besides giants, right?
Well, I mean, you could levitate that. You could use magnetism and frequencies. I mean, they've already figured all that out.
You know the whole Nikola Tesla thing with like this tower trying to.
That's the funniest thing that they called that car Tesla, when like Tesla's been like discredited for all the amazing shit that he figured out.
You know, he was trying to send electricity for free to people, and he was working with.
Because it's in the air.
Yeah. But guess who he was working with?
Did you
J.P. Morgan.
Oh, well.
And J.P. Morgan owned General Electric and AT&T.
And that's why they fucked him over on everything.
And he owned the timber mills that made the electricity poles. Yeah. And he owned the copper mills that made the copper lining to send the power everywhere.
Well, and Edison stole all his shit, too.
Who's this idiot trying to send free power?
Yeah, free? No way.
That's why all his work was raided the second he died.
Yeah.
The second he died, all his work was taken. He was gone off the face of the planet.
But it's funny that they call the car Tesla.
Yeah, well,
you gotta pay for the electricity, but it's called the Tesla, so it makes it okay.
In the future, it's probably gonna be different. In the future, we're gonna be just planted into a computer. Watch, I'm telling you, what's gonna happen.
I'm not going that route. I will shoot my way out of that.
Then.
I'll shoot my way out of that.
Your kids are gonna be in that whole area of society by then.
I hope I raised them for the small time I was with them. I hope I raised them well enough.
They're going to integrate with us. They're going to integrate with the machines, and that's just. And then we're a dying breed, man. There's no more.
Well, here's the thing. They say. I know I always go back to the Bible because I love very much researched in it. So it says, "In the last days will be like the days of Noah." Now, most people think the days of Noah were sinful days, and everyone was sinful.
Well, no one knew. No one knew.
But if you read the book of Enoch, you know that the fallen angels came and procreated with women and created. They tainted the DNA of man, right? So Noah and his family were not sinless. They were the pure DNA of Adam and Eve. So God destroyed the earth not because it was sinful. He destroyed the earth because it was tainted DNA. What have they been doing lately? Trying to change our DNA.
Yeah.
They're altering our DNA through vaccines.
Yeah.
The last days will be like the days of Noah.
It's the end of the family now.
Well, it's the end of a lot of things, but it's also the end of our pure natural DNA.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I think that's
On that
perfect.
note.